The details of the kits for LUH Ultimate Hero and Maxwell Ordinary Mechanic have been revealed, so I'm going to take some time to break them down for you and let you know what my impressions are. And in a surprise turn of events, I don't think that either of these kits are particularly difficult to understand, so let's just hop into it. I'm going to start with LUH Ultimate Hero, LUH for short, and as always, all values in this video are from skill level 10. LUH Ultimate Hero is a Burst 3 attacker. She's Wind Code and is equipped with a rocket launcher. LUH's skill 1 is going to increase her attack by 4.05% of her final max HP. This doesn't seem like much, but we'll see that it's a nice chunk of attack when combined with everything else in her kit. The rest of skill 1 is all about LUH's weapon transformation. So, LUH is a rocket launcher unit, and every time she fires fully charged shots, she gets a stacking buff called Warming Up. Each stack increases charge speed by 10%, and at 5 stacks, her weapon will transform and the stacks reset to 0. Her transformed weapon behaves a lot like an assault rifle, but let's look at exactly what it does. Each shot does 9.45% of her final attack, and she gains Pierce. It will have a max ammo of 120, and it states here that any effects altering max ammo will be refreshed when the transformation happens. Whenever she fires the final round in her transformed weapon, it reverts to its original form and her ammo is reduced to 0, which is just a technical way of saying that she must reload after emptying the transformed weapon. Now let's take a look at her skill 2. After LUH lands 12 normal attacks with her transformed weapon, she gains 5% over energy. When she reaches 100% over energy, the counter resets and she advances to a new stage. There are 4 stages and she starts at stage 0. So what do these stages actually do? Well, every stage increases LUH's max HP up to a total of 22.5%. Every time she advances a stage, she will retain the previous stage's buff. At stage 1, she gets 2% max HP. At stage 2, it's 3%. Stage 3 is 7%. And stage 4 is 10.5%. And then finally, we get to her burst skill. Her burst skill will increase her own attack by 63.36% for 10 seconds. She will also damage all enemies for 2,953.84% of her final attack. And in addition to that, if LUH is in stage 1 or higher, the enemy nearest to the crosshair will take 934.76% of her final attack, multiplied by the level of stage she's at as additional damage. So let's talk about these skills a little bit. A couple things to note about this transformation is that nowhere is it stated that max ammo overload lines don't affect it. And since it explicitly states that ammo effects are refreshed, we can assume that her ammo count will be altered by them. So, max ammo could potentially be very valuable for LUH to help her maintain the transform state for much longer and advance to stage 4 much faster. LUH is an attacker, so her base HP won't be nearly as high as a defender, but having all of that bonus max HP as soon as possible will mean having a higher attack value for a much longer time in the fight, which will matter a lot in boss encounters, but not so much in campaign stages with mobbing. Also, since LUH is a rocket launcher unit, charge damage increases could potentially be massive for the transformation weapon, so maybe pairing her with Velvet could yield a lot of extra damage. But that's something we won't know until we actually get to test out the kit. Either way, having an assault rifle-esque weapon with Pierce is actually great for mobbing or hitting multiple parts on a boss, and gives her some more flexibility in who you can group her with in team compositions. And not to mention, her scaling max HP can be buffed by other units as well. And I mean, if Island Eater is anything to go off of, having more defensive stats might be a huge boon in the future. Her burst skill is nothing special, but it is screen-wide damage with a little extra single target and a decent attack buff. This is very welcome. My impressions are that LUH is going to be very versatile, seeing use in solo raids and campaign, and definitely the MISSILIS tower. I can't say for sure just yet if she's going to be a high value pull, so I'll save that for the follow-up video. Anyways, that's enough about LUHplace for now. It's time to move on to Mom. And by that, I mean Maxwell Ordinary Mechanic. This is another very straightforward kit with some similar mechanics to LUHplace. So let's take a look. Maxwell Ordinary Mechanic is a Burst 2 supporter. She's a wind code unit equipped with a sniper rifle. First off, her skill 1. Maxwell's full charge attacks will increase the max HP of all allies by 1% continuously, and this can stack up to 30 times. Also, whenever your team enters Burst Stage 3, all allies will get 10% increased attack damage for 5 seconds. Now for her skill 2. When Maxwell uses her burst skill, all allies get an attack boost equivalent to 1% of Maxwell's final max HP for 15 seconds. In addition to that, she will increase her own attack by 30% and increase the overcurrent stage. We'll find out what that means when we get to her burst skill description. Lastly, whenever Maxwell lands full charge attacks, she will increase the burst gauge by 7.15%. Now on to her burst skill. Whenever Maxwell uses her burst skill, she will equip a new weapon, the Matisse Uber Buster. This weapon has a single piercing shot, it deals 350% of her final attack as damage, and it has a full charge damage of 300%. This weapon has a fixed charge time that is altered by Maxwell's overcurrent stage. So at stage 1, it will be a 3-second charge time. Stage 2 is 2.5 seconds. Then at stage 3, it's 2 seconds. Stage 4 is 1.5 seconds. And finally, stage 5 is 0.4 seconds. But we're not done yet. In addition to all that, Maxwell will also increase the attack damage of all allies by 25% for 10 seconds. Alright, so I really like Maxwell's kit. Her full charge attacks will permanently increase max HP up to 30%, and she'll help a lot with burst generation. This gives some really niche off-burst potential for units that scale off of max HP, like Cinderella, 2B, and LUHplace Ultimate Hero, and she'll still give a meager 10% attack damage after you use a Burst 2 skill. I am huffing on some hopium here because we don't really have any teams that care about stacking max HP right now, but maybe with units like Maxwell and LUHplace, we'll start getting more units that do care about it, and we'll have that as an option in the future. But for an in-burst unit, which is probably where most of her use will be, she looks like a decent support/damage hybrid. I see Maxwell getting used in solo raid, but probably not campaign. There isn't much Burst 2 competition in MISSILIS Tower right now. We don't know what Flora's favorite item does yet, so that leaves Treasure Senti and Naga as her competition. Maxwell being able to generate a lot of burst and having a high damage burst skill will definitely make a strong case for bringing her to the tower. But I think it's really going to depend on how much damage Maxwell is able to put out with her burst skill. Overall, I like both units and I probably will grab them both. I'm definitely going to grab LUHplace, but Maxwell might depend on what Flora's favorite item kit looks like, because that could determine whether or not I use her in the tower. Anyways guys, let me know what you think of Mom and LUH. Please like and subscribe if you enjoy my content. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you next time. Bye!